Hey guys, Kiki from Eat More to Way Less. I wanted to come to you guys today with my top 5 tips for STS. Since a lot of us are doing the STS program together, I thought that this would be a good time for me to chime in with my 2 cents about STS. So if you are part of the STS group, a lot of us started in October. And some people I think are just starting maybe within the next 2 weeks. So usually somewhere within that fall, winter time, people jump on in and join us. So if you are just started or going to start or thinking about starting, these tips will apply to you. And they'll kind of sort of apply to any workout plan that you do, even if you're not an STSer or maybe you just like getting workout plans off the internet or plans from your trainer or whatever. These tips can still apply to you. Well, some of them can. Okay, so tip number 1, my biggest thing with STS that I will just like say it until the day I go to my grave is do the 1 rep max. You can adjust as you go, even if you're, more of a lazy workout person. Do the 1 rep max. Like, I'm so serious. That is what sets this program apart from any other program. So I know that it can seem kind of daunting at first and you're like, what is this? And it just, you see 1 RM and it just looks confusing, like it's some kind of like math problem, which it technically kind of is, but you don't have to do the math. That is the best part of it. So if you're confused about how to do the 1 rep max, it's totally easy. You pick a weight. So like you go on the workout manager and there's the printout of all the workouts that are in the whole thing. Or if you have the STS book, it has it too. But either way, you want to get an account on Kathy's workout manager site. You go in there and you go to the 1 rep max calculator. Okay, this is the tool that you're going to use for all of it. And the system is this. Pick an exercise, pick a weight that you think that you can do for like 10 times. Okay, so you're going to pick a weight that you think that I look like I could do this probably 8 to 10 times. You're going to get that weight and you're going to do whatever the exercise is for as many times as you possibly can. So even though you got something that you thought you could do 10 reps with, if you can go to 12, 15, 17 reps, do it. This is during your testing time. You really want to make sure you do this. Do as many as you can, and then you're going to write down how many you actually did, the weight that you used, and how many reps you actually did. That is what you're going to do for every single exercise that you're choosing to test for. So that is the caveat. If you really are just like, I'm not going to test for every single exercise in the entire program, when you go on to the workout manager and you print out the list of exercises, they have stars according to which ones are most important for you to test for. So like my first time around, I just tested the like 4 and 5 star exercises. So you could do that if you want, like anything above 3 star or something. If it's 1 or 2 stars, then don't bother. But you want to go on and you want to go through there and you're going to test those. When I did mine, I split them up according to like days, so that it was almost, the testing was pretty much my workout. So I would just go through like an entire, like the chest disc or the back disc or the leg disc, and I would test for those. But I wouldn't do the entire disc. Like if an exercise repeated, I would just do them along to the disc so that I could see kind of the pattern that she used to do the exercises, because some of them are kind of tricky, when she like has you do an isolation hold in the middle of a move. But you want to at least look at how the exercise is performed and do that, and just like take like a span of a week and set it up as your workout and group like exercises together so that you can be able to spread it out over the week. And so what you're going to do is, once you have that filled out, you have how much weight you used and how many reps you actually did, you're going to take that information to the workout manager. when you go to the 1 rep max calculator, you just punch in those numbers and it's going to figure it all out for you. So it's so super easy that you really don't want to skip out on this, because this is what sets the program apart. If you don't do the 1 rep max, then don't buy STS. Like, just go get any other random workout program and do it. Like, seriously, you're wasting your money, because that is what counts, is the fact that it's making you, it has this planned progression to it. So go in the 1 rep max calculator, input your numbers. It is going to not only figure out your 1 rep max for you, but it is going to auto-fill an entire workout card for you for every single disc. So then throughout the entire workout, all you have to do is you go into your workout manager and you pick disc 1 and you select your workout card and you print it out. And it has on there for you what weight to use and how many reps to do. You don't have to figure it out anymore. You just print out the card and do what it tells you to do. So you want to do that. But like I said, adjust as you go. If you are going to do maybe a 12 rep or 15 rep or whatever it is, depending on the phase that you're in, 10 reps, whatever. Anytime you can go above and beyond the reps that you're supposed to be doing, do it, but write it down. And then before you do that workout again, like maybe the end of that night, or maybe weekly, just go in and adjust any numbers where you were able to go higher than you were before. Then just do it. You write it down so that it can adjust for your next workout card. Your next workout card will have your new number to use on there. So that way you're constantly increasing, and it's always going to automate it for you. So make sure you do that. If you just absolutely do not want to test beforehand, then do it what I call the lazy way, which is pretty much the way that I just described for adjusting as you go. And that's just, you print out a blank workout card, and every workout, just jot down what you did. Write down how much you did, and always do the max amount of reps that you can do, and then go in and fill it out, which to me, that's more tedious. So just do the 1 rep maxes. You want to do them, and you want to have success in this program, so just do it. Okay, which brings me to my second tip, which is to do the program the way that it is written out for you, like especially your first few times of doing it. So I know that, like, people want to just like get a program, and this is one of those tips that applies to any program that you do. If your trainer is giving you a program, or if you're getting a program from like a book or from somewhere where it's a professionally written program and you're not a professional, just do what is written until you get the skill set and the understanding to be able to adjust these programs. Don't adjust these programs. Like, that to me, not only as a trainer, but just, because I can see how it's set up, and the person that created the workout, they created it with a purpose. So you're screwing up that purpose if you decide that I'm not going to do that, which, disclaimer, I do that, but I am a trainer and I know how something is going to work for me. So until you really, really have that, not just you think you got it, when you really have that and you really understand how different workouts affect you and understand periodization and how to split things, maybe split the days and all that stuff, do programs. This is P90X or STS or whatever, but obviously we're talking about STS here. Do it as written. That means rest when she's resting. If she's does an isolation hold, do the isolation hold. You are supposed to feel what she feels. I've gone to a few Kathy events, and during there, like, that's what she said, that the reason why she does the workouts with the crew, she's not the trainer that just walks around and talking and stuff the whole time during a video. She does it so that she can feel what you're feeling. So if she's in the middle of a rep and she's like screaming and making ugly faces, then guess what? You probably should be too. And you probably should be making the ugly faces even when she's not, because she's like trained for 20 years to smile the entire time she's working out, which none of us do that. So feel what she's feeling. If she's like, you know, grinding out that last rep, or she's saying like, man, I'm going to have to drop weight on that, or something like that. Like, that's how hard you should be pushing. If you want to get the results out of this, you need to feel what she's feeling, because she's doing it so that she feels what you're feeling. So use her for cues. And listen to her when she's talking. Do the variations of the push-ups if you need to, because that even applies to the push-ups. They suck, but do them. Even if you start out on your toes and then you move to tabletop, you know, by the end, because you just like can barely move. Do whatever it takes, because during like that first mesocycle, during endurance, reps count more than weight. So if you are trying to like go hard and use a heavy weight and she's still going and you're not, then you need to drop your weight and keep going, because that is important. You need to follow the program as written. Okay, so that doesn't necessarily apply to the order of workouts. For the most part, they can kind of be switched around. The only suggestion that I would make on that is to not do the back day and the leg day consecutively, because they both have deadlifts. So especially if you have lower back issues, that might cause a problem. Okay, number 3 is, my personal recommendation is to tailor your eats to the phase that you're in. So, you know, I've talked a bit about it in like my bulk series, and we've had some blogs on like the different fitness cycles, and I can attach some of the links to some of those that I talk about how I tend to do this with the different mesocycles. And I really feel like this is the best way to get the benefits from any workout, is to eat according to the phase that you're in. I understand that maybe that's not possible for everybody. You know, if you're cutting and you just only want to cut throughout the whole thing, then obviously you're going to stay below maintenance level throughout the entire thing. But if you can, I would highly recommend adjusting your level of eating as you go through the different mesocycles. So if you're cutting, then maybe you can stay at cut during meso 1 and possibly meso 2. But when you get to the strength phase, like, you're really going to reap the benefits if you're eating for strength. And strength requires food and carbs usually. So if you're like low carb, that might not work for you. But I would highly recommend it. I feel that that's the best way to get results from this, because you're going to pack on muscle during the phases that you're meant to pack on muscle. Like meso 2, I would eat at maintenance, and meso 3, if you can swing it, I would eat slightly over maintenance, like maybe 100 calories, 150 calories above maintenance. If not, then I'd recommend maintenance for meso 2 and 3. And if you really want to cut, then just do that meso 1, because I mean, you need the energy, but it's not like strength where like you are like gonna die without enough food. So just think of that if you're not necessarily getting the results that you want in each phase, especially in meso 3. If you don't feel like you're really capitalizing on the strength gains, it's probably your food. So what does that put me at? Number 4. I would say do cardio, but don't overdo it. Adjust based on your phases. When I'm in meso 1, you know, it's an endurance phase, so technically you're already doing cardio 3 days a week. If you love cardio, then sure, add more, but I don't. You know, maybe randomly, but I wouldn't go crazy on it, because you're already, it's like MRT type stuff that you're doing for the entire phase. So you could probably go less cardio during that phase, and then maybe meso 2 and 3, you may want to do like 2 days, like maybe like insert it in between the weight days, just to flush the muscles, like maybe even a steady state, just to kind of flush the lactic acid out of the muscles and to not be so stiff if you tend to retain a lot of water. Or if you're cutting during Meso 2, you may want to add in like a HIIT, 1 or 2 HIIT workouts. But yeah, like 2 days a week, I would think is probably plenty for most people, depending upon your phase, unless you're like training for a marathon or something, or you just really like cardio, or you feel like your workout is not complete without cardio. I wouldn't. So that's my tip on that. You can do cardio. It's allowed, even though there's no cardio that comes with it. She has a STS cardio series. They can be purchased separately. I have it, but I don't ever really do them together like consistently or anything. So that's up to you. Do the cardio, but don't overdo it. Okay, and my last tip, my 5th tip, is to try to do the pyramid, which technically probably contradicts it seems like it contradicts what I said earlier about don't like screw with the program or don't do anything different. But this is not necessarily messing with her program. What this is I've talked before about the pyramid that I tend to do a lot with STS, and what it does is it essentially turns it into like a 5 or 6 month program instead of a 3. And all you do is you do Meso 1, 2, 3, and then 2, 1. So it kind of creates like this, like a bulk cut scenario. So if you did want to cut during it, you could cut during the like ends of the pyramid, the beginning and end, and then that gives you just like a little bit of muscle building time for Mesos 2, 3, and 2. So like I said, if you go with the tip of adjusting your eating with the Mesos, then the pyramid works really, really well, because you can be cutting at the beginning, and then you can move up to maintenance for Meso 2 and eat at maintenance or above for Meso 3, and then back to maintenance for Meso 2, and then cut again for Meso 1. And I really, really love doing the pyramid because, technically 3 months of anything is not necessarily a whole lot of time. It seems like it, and all the programs are like 12 weeks, so we think that, that 12 weeks is enough time to produce like these massive amounts of results, but it's really not. You really need to put in like 6 months to a year of something to get results in it. And because STS is such a phenomenal program, I think that it's really beneficial to try it. So if you do want to try something new, that's something that you could try out, is the pyramid. And that's something that I believe I created the pyramid. If you go into the workout manager, if you do want to try the pyramid, you go into the workout manager, and there's a way for you to download rotations that were created by other users. And I am Kikster, Kikster, and I created the pyramid rotation on there. So if you go on there and you go through the rotations and you look for it and you want to input into your calendar, I created one so that it is there for those who want to try it. And I really, really think that that is the way to get the best results from this program. So even though it seems like it contradicts the other one, it doesn't. It's all good. It works together. You're not screwing with the program. You're still doing 1, 2, 3, but then you do 2, 1. And the reason why I did that way is because originally I thought when I got the program, because I was familiar with mesocycles, I thought I was going to do Meso 3 first, and then do 2 and then 1, because I was trying to do like a bulk cut type thing. And I did it the first time as written, just as I recommended to you. And what I discovered was that by doing Meso 1 first as written, by the time I got to Meso 3, I was lifting heavier than I ever had in my life. What do you know? The person who created the program actually knew what they were talking about. So, like I said, do it the way that it's written, but to still get that benefit of the 3, 2, 1 like I wanted to originally, I decided to do the pyramid rotation, because I can't deny the strength results that I get by Meso 3 because of the fact that I did Meso 1, but then I also will typically go back into an either hypertrophy or endurance phase myself. So why not just use the one that's already there? Because, you know, I spend so much time creating other people's programs that I can't stand creating my own. So it works for me, and I think you will like it if you try it. Those are my top 5 STS tips, STSers. I hope that you guys are loving it so far. If you already dove in, if you haven't, then what are you waiting for? Talk to you guys later. Bye.